Alright guys, I got a game here of Colorful versus FoCus. Colorful has a 50% win rate in general, 53 when against Orc. FoCus is 59 and 58 when against Night Elf. The direct head-to-head is also in favor of FoCus. I think they are very similar players in their profile. They're very standard players that execute very, very well. They like to play one build and get really good at it. When they face a problem, they try to do the build that they do better. Think of it as a tennis player that just tries to do the service harder. It's like, oh, my service got stopped. Should I start doing mind games? No mind games. I'll just serve harder. That's how I see Colorful and FoCus. Not to say that they haven't done some... actually, yeah. No, I'm just going to keep it with that. Colorful literally never does anything else except Demon Hunter into Archers and Bears. Every single matchup. And FoCus, he has done some different things, but it's a once in a blue moon thing. He knows he's cheesing. He's not really throwing it, like throwing different curveballs from game to game. So if you want to learn how to play the game at high level, like let's say if you're like W3 Champions MMR between 1400 and 1600, or 1400, actually, no, fuck it. Anywhere from 1300 to 2400. You can watch these guys and you can learn the best way to play the game. So that's I think where we're at. If you want to learn curveballs and trickery, generally that's going to be American players, European players, because sometimes the lack of execution capabilities, the lack of precise and pristine micro and perfection forces players that don't have that ability to try to think outside the box to try to win with surprise instead. And Colorful FoCus are karate masters, you know, 30-year black belts. Actually, they're not that old, but you know, the equivalent of, it's a metaphor. They're also not really black belts. They don't give black belts for games. I think they should. I probably have one. Anyways, let's cast the game. Jump into it. Colorful is going to be going for immolation creeping. He's got one surface area on the Makrura, so it's not the best immolation. He had a great surface area actually to continue creeping the other three, but he's going to do it entirely with the Archer and the Ancient of War, which is free real estate. Yo, Salt, thanks for the raid, man. I appreciate that. Just casting this game here. And Colorful, is he gonna creep or not? Why? Okay, I don't get this. Sorry, I have to rewind this for a bit. Why does Colorful's Demon Hunter show up at the camp and then just wait? Could it... Oh. Okay, I get it. Alright. Actually, I don't like pausing. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I like pausing. I like pausing a lot. As a content creator looking to keep people with the TikTok brains excited, I like to try and not to pause because people think pauses are boring, but it's actually so interesting what's happening here. I have to point this out. So please indulge me, humor me. It's not going to take long. Take a look at this. Right here, there's a blue wisp from Colorful. This wisp is across the water and can see a high value camp, the Turtle 4, with the Spitting Hydra. We see the same equivalent right here. So this wisp here, you can see whether a Blade Master goes here to creep it. If he does, Colorful wants to send his Demon Hunter across and start harassing this. He has pre-warning from this wisp. Right now, he knows that Blade could start it, but he has to confirm whether he's actually going to be starting it. If the Blade starts this, he has the option to also immediately start this camp. It'll be a trade, and he will be in the lead in terms of XP because his Archer is finishing this camp entirely, and provided he makes no mistakes, he's going to be level 1.8 from this, 2.3 from this, and he's going to have two high-value items, a claw and a ring, a claw and a gloves. Blade will have one high-value, one low-value item. He's going to have the low-value Mantle of Intelligence and the high-value Claws. But Blade will only be level 1.8 because he doesn't have an Ancient of War. So, why does Demon Hunter show up here? Let's say if he doesn't see the blade come by this side with the wisp, then it means that the blade either has gone here to the shop, get circlet, and then go to the Night Elf base, or it means that the blade walks here immediately and tries to take the Turtle 4 early before the Demon Hunter shows up, which might be true if Colorful finished this whole camp with Demon rather than in the absence of Demon with just the Archer and the Ancient of War. There's a creep route where Night Elf does this whole thing with Demon and Archer and then creeps this camp. He will be level 2.2, but he'll be giving one of these middle camps to the Orc player. So Colorful has apparently decided that he wants to immediately look at the middle and not waste an opportunity to fight over the middle camp. So he's waiting here, not because he's dumb and lazy, but because he's thinking in all the different permutations of variable openers from Orc and has a plan against all of them. It's very hard to understand if I don't pause, so let's continue. 2-minute pause, brain is exploding. Yeah, you're joking, but the guy above you says unpause, please. Like, he's actually so bored, he doesn't know what to do with himself. So I wasn't wrong when I said it. Thank you, Mangustin. So Blade shows up. And wait, this is really... How did this happen? So he sees that the Blade doesn't start the Turtle 4 camp. And then why does he send the Demon back? Does he think Blade is going for the main base of Night Elf? He probably does. And then FoCus positions his Blade and Grunt in such a way that no penetration is possible. And Immolation, in fact, cannot even reach the Turtle, which means FoCus gets the guaranteed. Wow, that was nice. So he stole it anyway. Well, that's an outplay. Colorful tried to strategically approach all the different permutations. He tried to approach it from a thinking point of view with experience of if you do this, if you do that, etc., etc. And FoCus just outplayed him by walking there and just creeping it and locking out position for creep track. He got the item. And Colorful got nothing out of that. That's really weird. Like, that was not effective. I wonder how that goes if we repeat it 4 times. Nice micro by the Blade Master. He steals a Tome of Agility as well. That's +1 damage, plus 0.3 armor, and plus 2% attack speed. Grunt here is watching the Turtle 4 and the Hydra, level 2. And we have 2 grunts, standard peon count. Will there be a 3rd grunt, or is that a skip from FoCus? It looks like he's actually skipping 3rd grunt. He spent significant resources buying circlet dust, that's 275 gold. His tier 2 is almost done. Ah, I usually get 3rd grunt by default against Night Elf. And it looks like FoCus says, in this current meta, against Demon with Immolation, against the bear tech that people tend to do, that 3rd grunt ends up not being worth it. If you were to keep your Blade on Night Elf non-stop, your Shadow would require the use of a 3rd grunt in order to get any decent headway creeping. But my guess is, once Shadow is out for a while, I think Blade Master is gonna come back and help creeping, and then you don't need the 3rd grunt, because Blade is the best tank and DPS. So for the skip of the 3rd grunt, FoCus now has the money to make a 3rd burrow, war mill, bestiary, and totem all at the same time, which he would not have been able to do if he had gone for that 3rd grunt. And then is it going to be... Obviously, it's going to be 1 walker with disenchant, and it's going to be raider with ensnare, that's for sure. Is he going to add in any headhunters? Is what I wonder. And will FoCus, just like myself and just like Lynn, be focusing on trying to get a 7-minute expansion? Right? It could be 650, it could be 720, it could be 740. But is the concept, his win condition that he is chasing, going to be an early expansion? And will Colorful do a mass Dryad attack to counter the expected expansion? Or will he instead play for tier 3? It looks like mass Dryads. He's got money to tier 3, but he's not going yet, which makes me feel it's going to be mass dryads. So it is solo shadow creeping, but it's for the XP. Blade is nearby zoning. Blade, second skill is crit. We're seeing Hex first consistently, even though Dryads can dispel Hex. Just the value of Hex in controlling. Oh wow, he took the item away, the replenishment. It was a slow pickup by Colorful. Yeah, FoCus doing the same thing. That basically that Lin has been doing, which is Hex first. Maybe some level 5 unit surrounds. So that you creep it away from where you could easily get creep jacked. And snare, disenchant coming. There's the headhunter. Okay, so it's true. 2 grunts into headhunter just to kind of keep your distance against the... Oh, I love that. I love that. Keep your distance against the demon hunter. Look at this. The level 5 is missing. He would have been creep jacked right here if he had been creeping it up there. But instead he's creeping so far away that he can take this contested point in a much safer way because of the hex abuse on the creep. And if you don't know how it works, if you hex a unit, it loses all ability to attack, and therefore it drops on the threat table so much that it sees itself as a prey, not a predator. Prey runs when hit by a predator. Right? So the moment you hex something, it starts auto AI walking away from that damage source in the opposite direction. So if you hit it from on top when it's hexed, it will walk bot. It will do so for a period of time. In Warcraft 3, it's maybe it's like for 4 or 5 seconds uninterrupted, and after that it will reacquire. Once it reacquires any attacks, it's gonna do the same thing basically in the direction of the first attack that comes in. The opposite direction of where the attack came in from. Nature's Blessing is coming. We've got 1 armor upgrade for Dryads. This is, of course, very good for Night Elf to do because 100% of FoCus's damage output is physical. He has 0% spell damage. And if he had, it wouldn't be very good because Dryads are magic immune. So Dryads with the armor upgrade going to survive longer. You may think, of course, hey, mass ranged. Shouldn't you get ranged upgrade first instead of armor? But Dryads partially rely on poison damage. It's called slow poison. And that is not being boosted by an attack upgrade. So while attack upgrades normally give 12% bonus damage, you could say for units that have an attack modifier like Envenomed Spears, Wyverns, and Dryads, and Torrents with Pulverize, it's less than total 12% extra damage output, whereas the armor does safeguard 12% effective EHP. And I'm sure he'll get an attack upgrade once he has money for it. And not wanting to get any more armor upgrades. Because right now I see Colorful, he's at 145 lumber. And yeah, there it is. Okay, he started attack upgrade. I was wondering if he's going to save up second armor. Demon Hunter's got level 2 mana burn, level 1 immolation. Wants to get in contact with that shadow. Colorful is not making any Moonwells yet. I don't like his chances to fight now. 1, no shop. 2, he has 500 gold. So this is not nearly the maximum output of what he could bring to the table. He hasn't even started a Moonwell, so he won't be there soon either. That was a nasty mana burn. But now we're fighting with a Peon in the burrow that helps shoot Dryads. Blade's getting targeted pretty hard. It's got invulnerability, though. He's choosing not to burn it too quickly. Lin in these situations focuses Demon quite a bit. And we see the same here for FoCus. Still has invul. The Demon's invul is longer, so he may actually outlast Blade. Probably going to be crit level 2. Yeah, crit level 2. So, pretty good War of Attrition. But Colorful didn't go over 50. So it's not as good of an attack as it could have been. And imagine if he had brought Ancient of War to the expo. It could have helped quite a bit as well. Though it's kind of sick, he's going to kill the shop. Not completely bought out either. FoCus could have tried to land some clarities. Did not, though. So the Walker died. Will he remake the Walker? Might be worth it for Entangle, I would say. Colorful again attacking without maximum cap. Don't love this for him. Free Kodo though. He didn't have vision of it. This is just FoCus mistake. FoCus gonna ignore it. He's gonna sacrifice the Kodo, cancel the Great Hole, lose the Burrow. He sold. He sold them out. Shadow is getting pretty good levels. Now has Hex, Double Snake, Heal Wave. 3.4, 4.0. Better levels, slightly better levels on FoCus. But he's stuck at 44 pop, not much money, no expansion. Now, funny thing about Warcraft 3. Unlike in StarCraft 2. In StarCraft 2, if your expansion gets cancelled, it's just bad. There was no opportunity cost for the opponent to cancel it. If they did it with the army, they would normally make anyway. It's different if they make like 15 roaches and sacrificing worker income instead, worker production. But in Warcraft 3, you can make an expansion as a manipulation of the enemy's opportunity cost. They could otherwise be creeping. And so when you make an expansion, you're preventing them from creeping. You're even modifying their strategical options. Maybe the best option is mass bears, but you're removing the option of bears because you are fast expanding. Therefore, they must do a Dryad all-in. This is the trend that I'm seeing at high-level Orc versus Elf. Same thing with like Orc. Maybe we want to play Mass Tauren Walker in Orc Mirror, and we want to play Torrents against, let's say, Undead or Human. But we can't because the Undead and Human expanded at minute 3. So our strategical option shrinks away from tier 3 and it has to center around tier 1 and tier 2. So that's what you are achieving with an expansion. So just because FoCus's Expo got cancelled and even, you know, I say sold, you can't actually sell it, but I mean it in the metaphorical sense. Like, you sold your Expo, dude. Even though that happened, that doesn't mean FoCus is necessarily behind, because he's got really good hero levels. He's going to go straight for the Keeper. Keeper has Invul used, but does not have Town Portal. Now, I don't think there's enough bandwidth to go for Keeper again. He's thinking about it, but I don't think he's actually going to go. Demon is getting some good surface area with Immolation. These Dryads have 2 armor upgrades. See how they're taking almost no damage? These are really, really good traits for Colorful. Very good traits. Very tough fight for FoCus to confirm kill anything. Wow, 168, 174 raw damage into those Dryads. He's giving it to those Dryads raw. They do have armor upgrades, so it is going to be mitigated. They have protection themselves. Blade is going to try and run away. He still has invulnerability. He will not be forced to use it just yet. New Raider comes in. This could spell good news for FoCus. He tries to get a unit in kill range and snare it and then finish it off before the ensnare cooldown runs out. Shadow will have to finish that Dryad. Look how many hits he needs on the Dryad. Demon's real low, but he's got invulnerability potion. Blade is saving his. If there's a blunder on the Demon, I'm going to be really upset. He just let his Demon die. So that makes this... If FoCus wins this, that makes this... another game where Orc wins just because Elf couldn't be bothered to press a button. Like, you watch, you're like, oh, what amazing innovation did Orc use that could be used to perpetuate the matchup meta. And you see a level 4 demon die and rebought from Tavern for 500-600 gold. Just because he didn't click info in the 3-second period that the Shadowhunter's auto attack was in the air. But now Master Claw training is coming. That actually cost him 2 bears. He now has no money because he lost the demon. He could just have 2 more bears. He could be 48 population, now he's 40. And so I like... And the XP that it gave. It leveled the blade to level 4. Shadow is now going to be level 3 potentially. If he gets away with this creep route. Which, from the looks of it, he won't. Expo is done. FoCus has 3 Spirit Walkers, a Kodo, a Raider, a Headhunter. So he just doesn't make any grunts anymore, huh? Grunts just suck, don't they? They're good, beefy early game tanks, but their damage output is not worth it for their money, and their utility isn't either. I may love grunts too much, actually. Oh, I love how FoCus did that so much. Let's walk that back. FoCus plans to steal creeps. He stands there with his blade level 2. Okay? He knows that Keeper has dust because he clicks heroes and checks items. Question. Why doesn't he put his blade next to the turtle to stand there and say, okay, when it dies, I'm gonna pop it. I'm gonna pop it. Why does he stand so far away? Right now, he's out of dust range. He does start walking closer. Right here. There's the dust. And it was perfectly timed. He spent the maximum amount of time outside of range. Then did get dusted. But Colorful did the illusion of safety dust. Where he gets it, so he's like, let's just check if blade is here. But he doesn't actually hold damage to prevent the lethal steal. So it was mistimed by Colorful. Again, a FoCus outplay. As we've seen so many this game so far. Which is, of course, what it takes when it's that close between two players' skill. Yeah, this looks really good for FoCus because the burrow's helping. Now he just has enough damage on Demon to force Invul. He's going to force it again once, he's going to focus Demon again after that. You don't focus Keeper under these conditions anymore. You just go for the Demon Hunter. And there's no Staff of Preservation. Colorful has 2/2 upgrades. Very impressive, but he's now against an expansion. That's well done by FoCus. I think there's going to be a win for him in this one. In L Cup 16 round robin. God, I love having an expansion. It means the money that you lose from Heal Soul of Clarity can actually be repaid. It can actually be paid for. It's the only fair way to play against bears and moonwells. Because you can buy consumables. Look at that. And snare on bears so that they're not all fighting. Pretty good. And they can't be staffed if there was one. I like how eager FoCus is not to use his invul early. It can be very tempting when you get entangled and focused to just be like, yeah, I'll just keep fighting here until I'm 1 HP, then I'm gonna invul. But he runs his blade away as if he has no invul, so that he can live longer, and then when he finally actually needs it, that's when he clicks the item, which is surely gonna happen, right? Yeah. Unlike Colorful, unlike Colorful, FoCus clicks the button on invul when he's 1 hit away from dying. And that makes a difference. Very clean play. Level 3 wards now. Fantastic. I love level 3 wards. They're so broken. Look at how much damage they do to Dryads. 50 piercing damage per Serpent Ward. That Serpent Ward has DPS of 3 Headhunters or something. Or 5. I think it's actually 4 or 5 Headhunter. 1 Serpent Ward. Maybe 4. No Worma upgrades for Orc. Notice how many units do not benefit. Raider melee attack does not share with Headhunter. Kodo doesn't get any. Walker doesn't get any. Yo, excellent game by FoCus. That's what I like to see. A deserved 1-0. In fact, I think he deserved that 1-0 so much. It should actually be worth 2 points in the best of 3. It should just be over. You shouldn't get to play anymore after you didn't click invul on your demon and then rebought. But alright, let's see game number 2. I don't know if there's going to be a 3. Okay. How are they going to adapt? My guess is they won't. I think it's going to be similar opener. Demon, Immolation, you know, Blade, Windwalk, and then Mana Burn. On this map, it's much more likely for Colorful to also expand, I would say. Echo is a very friendly map towards an early expansion. Many Night Elves... Many Night Elves on this map would actually elect to Mercenary Camp creep, because it gets you a fat item and puts your AOW in a great position to creep the Murlocs, which is the orange camp to the right of the Mer camp, and then to creep the natural, and you can hire mercenaries and get big army. But it does slow down your tech, and therefore your second hero, your dryads, your bears, whatever you're going to be going for. You have a little bit less lumber. And you don't stop enemy creeping as much when you do Mercamp. I think if I'm against Mercamp... If I'm against Mercamp as FoCus, I creep the level 3 at the top, the level 3 Ogre Warrior. And then I go get this Ogre Warrior as well. The Night Elves Ogre Warrior. Then you've got 2 claws, potentially, right, if it's a claws. Colorful got the claws, moves his demon into the small camp in the middle. FoCus gets a ring of protection. Clarity heals off and speed scroll. Colorful creeps 2 creeps. And then goes to check the other small camp in the middle. Which FoCus is doing? Hoping for a slippers here. It is a slippers. So this blade is particularly armored from slippers and ring. Colorful gets level 2 from the top camp and continues to creep a little bit the small creeps. FoCus wind walks into the shop by circlet. Not dust this time. Problem is, oh, he does get dust and he sold ring. Okay. I think it was slow to update or he went back or something. Makes sense because you need space for new items. If you don't sell, then you have no items that you can pick up anymore. But if you don't buy dust, then you find archers at night and you can't punish them. Plus, they will zone areas because they can just remain there and see things. FoCus always loved cheesing this Ogre Mage early. This has been true for forever, for the last 21 years that I've been watching him. So no surprise to see him do it. Everybody knows it, so of course Colorful has to come here and screw with him as well. FoCus is pretty adept at getting this, even after being found. His damage range is 40 plus auto, let's call it 70 damage. Mana burns 50, and if a demon... So 70 is a little bit more than 50, but if the demon goes in with an auto attack and then mana burns, he can get 2 damage sources in. And those together are more like 80. So you're either working with 50 at range, or if you're very close, you can work with an 80 damage burst, which is more than 70. So technically, FoCus cannot force this ogre when the demon is there because he's at risk of it being stolen. It's risky for both of them. So the FoCus just reveals himself and just starts banging on the bongos like, yo, let's bring all the grunts here. Let's start fighting. He's shopping at the marketplace. Like, yo, is there anything good here? What's good? Can I buy something? Marketplace is seeded with items every 30 seconds based on drops that have happened so far. Right? 1 extra item. And the only items that have dropped so far are like slipper level and claw level. King of the jungle. So he's looking, he's probably seeing cloak, ring, and that's why he's not buying anything. There's the Naga. Okay, Colorful picked up Naga instead of Keeper because he wanted to This is purely based around getting the Ogre Mage. Keeper's a little better than Naga, but Naga's fine. It's not a cheese. It's just a little bit more aggressive because it comes out 60 seconds earlier. And he's doing this because he wants to get the Ogre Mage. And he's going to get it. So will it be worth it? What does he get? 15-second invul potion. Okay. Where's FoCus' shadow? There's the shadow. He's going to creep Mercamp. FoCus always goes for the big ambitious camps, especially when he knows he has a window for it. And he does. He's good at knowing these things. Right? If he had gone for the expo now, let's say I'm coaching a lower level player, goes for the expo with this army. Totally fine. Right? Because I know they may not be able to micro this camp. But if we're talking about optimal, this is better than going for the expo. It's worth more XP, better item. It's also a bit more out of the way to come back here after you hollow out all the other creeps around here. So if you can in one smooth movement go to this creep and then this one and then this one and then this one, it's better than take this away and then you go into the map and then later you have to come back to the Mercamp by itself with nothing else around it. It's good feng shui, it's good flow. This time, Colorful's going for an attack upgrade first. Not sure if he knows why he's doing it, but he elected it over armor upgrade this time.
Again. Did you use herbs, tea, or other special treatments for recovery?
No. I don't know. I mean, I always have a little bit. I don't know. Just lucky that it's not all the time, but unlucky that it's more than nothing. Claws of 8. Thanks, Sarayu. Claws of attack plus 8. Very nice. And what does Colorful get? He has gauntlets plus 3, gloves, another claws plus 4. He's got ring of superiority, excellent items as well. Colorful, once again, very low lumber. He has really embraced the utilization of the new Wisp buff. Doesn't remake as many Wisps, otherwise he might have to. Running a tight ship. So he has maxed now to 50 pop. And he has money for a Moonwell. In my opinion, he should make a Wisp and a Moonwell. And if he brings some Wisps with him, then there it is. There's the Wisp. If he brings some Wisps with him, then he can remove images. He can remove Spirit Link, mana. But why is he not making that Moonwell? Is he stupid? He's such a good player. Like, I have no chance against him. Why not make Moonwell now so that he can go to 60 or 70 pop? He's making an Ancient Protector at the expansion. It's like, I get if you want to play on 50 pop, trade, and then refill only to 50. I get that. Because you want to save up a lot of gold, and you feel like the 1 or 2 extra units are not going to win you the fight, and you can back off with the TP and you're playing an eco game. But at least have the option to go over. Okay, he's going immediately for the Naga. He's going to give Invul, I would imagine. I thought he was going to give Invul to the Naga, but he doesn't. Struggling to give Invul to Naga, but she will just walk away. Naga has 2 claws, by the way, so she's a valuable target fire target. This looks like a really good fight for Colorful. What I like especially is that his archers are still alive. Those do a lot of damage. They're very low health. So those archers are adding a lot. They should normally be a high value, like a high prio target fire for Orc. Orc has to TP out because he might lose his blade otherwise. AP lost the tower because it was out of range. Tower has 8... Yo, is this just like a thing he does? He sends his Ancient of War to kill the shop during the fight. It's quite funny. It's annoying, actually. It has Nature's Blessing. It's not easy to take down. It looks like this time Colorful's attack just totally worked, but I have to be so critical again. He is on 900 gold. We're talking about one of the best players in the world that caps himself at 50 pop, does not benefit from the next nighttime's mana generation on Moonwells that do not exist but should exist, and does a 900 gold in the bank all in. He wins it. Good for him. He played it well, but why not make those Moonwells? So I'm not as impressed with Colorful's win as I was with FoCus's victory just now against Colorful. I feel like FoCus had to work for that a lot more. A lot more clever plays, outplays, blocks, and so on. Was a good decision to get Naga, but not a difficult one. Okay, let's see game number 3. FoCus versus Colorful on Autumn. No, this is called Tide Hunters. On Tide Hunters. Thanks, Kawa. Does Orb work with Frost Arrow? It does not. So once you put Orb of Venom on Naga, which you should still do, by the way, it's very good, you have to disable Frost Arrow or your Orb won't leave its poison effect. What you can do is you can turn off autocast Frost Arrow, just auto attack, Orb of Venom, phew, 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 everything is poisoned. Then you press R, which is my hotkey for Frost Arrow, yours might be W, and then you W left click on things, W left click, as if it's a spell. Then you get one application of Frost Arrow, which won't have poison, right? But they might still be poisoned, and then you go back to poisoning. I don't see a lot of people do this. When I play, I do that, but I probably should be microing something else when I'm Night Elf than that, but I enjoy such minutia. So that Wisp, I hate that Wisp. That Wisp can also be used against you when you are Orc on this location. It has this lookout point. It's the same as those Overlords in StarCraft 2. They designed StarCraft 2 maps for Overlords to have a invisible elevated location over some bullshit tower that it could just look into the Protoss expansion the whole time until Protoss finally gets flying vision, which was several minutes into the game. It would just be a free spy, a scout that cannot be killed. And Wisps are the same BS. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. FoCus immediately goes for the Ogre Mage. He does love these, like I mentioned last game. But now he goes for it so fast that there is no stopping it. Colorful is not coming here at all. So, that's a 15-second invulnerability potion for FoCus. He did not research backpack, so Grunt will be going home without the ability to hire a backpack. But he comes here, finds the Demon Hunter, and starts just taking down that archer. He has to walk past far enough. There it is. That's a kill. Minus 44 mana burn, and we're out. No reason to stay. He has to go home to his shop. Love that he made his shop proxied so that he doesn't have to go home as far. He'll probably buy double heal salve, I would imagine. Yep, he did. Then why is he running home? I know he wants to heal his Grunt. But he could have healed the Grunt at the shop, then send it home and send the blade into the map. So that he can kind of be in a less predictable location. But I guess he wanted to stay near because he felt that this Turtle 4 would be a hotbed. Like an important area to fight for. Funnily enough, both the Blade and the Grunt had healing salve ticking on them, and Demon did not take a chance to just burn it away from them with 2 auto attacks. Bit of a waste. Speed Scroll wasn't enough to kill him either, I don't think. There's a Boots. He's going to escape via the top side. Colorful, 3 archers and then stops. That seems to be his standard amount every game. 2 grunts for FoCus. That's a similar investment from both of them. About 400 gold. A lot of European Night Elves make far more archers and then kind of play for the all-in. Can have a tier 2 all in, like your Sonics, your Smurfs. Colorful plays around the Mass Dryad, but not too many. Just up to 50 pop, and then he's just gonna save up gold and never use it. FoCus with his Warmill again. Warmill, Shadow, Bestiary, and I would imagine Torrent Totem. Yeah. He delays his third burrow to afford all this, because he's not looking to make 2 extra units anyway. He's still got headway for 1 unit. He could be making 1 if he wanted to, like a 3rd grand, but he does not. Makes his burrow, and that's that. Ooh, you can creep this without demon? How many wisps do you need to repair? No way, just 1. No way, just 1. Well, demon shows up. This is a big game knowledge thing. FoCus knows this creep route, obviously. I don't think I would have stopped this with my current game knowledge. With study, yes, of course. I would have to watch all the replays that have come out in the last few months to know that's a thing that they're doing. Because there are many things you can do, but if you try to stop everything, you may not be in the right place. This is nice. He stopped the creep route for a while. Demon steals a Mantle of Intelligence, gets an early burn on the Shadow Hunter. Blade continues to be a pita against Colorful's creeping. Technically, he could be entangled and surrounded here, actually. He just doesn't entangle, which feels really pointless. Didn't even focus fire him. Could just surround him, hide everything. Well, there's dust. Never mind. Blade could fight his way out with dust. He's making this last so much longer. Colorful doesn't have dust, so he's quite annoyed by the blade, actually. That is an amazing amount of time by. I didn't think that's possible anymore against Demon Keeper. It helps that he has invul. That makes him a lot less scared. Excellent. Demon got level 3 at 7:23 minutes. 7 minutes, 23 seconds. If Elf creeps unabated, they can get it at level 4 or something. More reasonably, minute 5. This was 7:25. That's great. Still, Demon is 3 now, which means he's a big old badass. Not something you want to fight into. This is the moment of Colorful strength. I feel like FoCus did as much as he could to try and slow down Colorful. But now that Demon is 3 and he has only a Blade 2, no Shadow 3 yet. He's not that strong. We have missed the window of a 720, 730 expansion for FoCus. Colorful's already maxed at 50. And in true Colorful fashion, he has, in his infinite wisdom, decided not to make an over Moonwell again. So he's going to be stuck at 50. His power spike is reached of maxed out army at minute 8:20. So from 8:20 until whenever he finishes his next Moonwell, his threat level only goes up through items and levels, not through army size. Oh, and upgrades, of course. He's getting upgrades. This is hard to watch. I don't understand it. Maybe I'm the stupid one that I don't understand why. That's a red cap, what the fuck? Yeah, because there's level 4, that's 8. 6 plus 8. Alright, it's 14. And then 2 level 3s, which are 6 together. 14 plus 6 is 20. Any camp with creep level 20 and above is red. But you wouldn't think that 3, 3, 4, 4, 6 maybe is a red camp, because there's no level 7. Usually red camps are associated with level 7 plus, like 7, 8, 9, 10. But this is the smallest red camp you can find. By comparison, well, the fight is beginning. Demon Focus Fire. That was a fat mana burn on Shadow, by the way. Feels bad, man. Minus 100. There's minus 100 on the blade. Demon has Invul. There's a Cyclonian Wand on the Keeper. This looks not good at all for Focus. I see no snakes because... Oh, he didn't pick snakes. But Focus is not using his abilities well on Shadow. He had 94 mana. He should have Healing Waved. He used 0 spells. Has the drums on the blade. You could give Invul to Shadow. There it is. There's a crit level 2, but invulnerability. There should be an Entangle and Demon dead. I mean Blade dead. Where is Colorful's money? He went for tier 3. Still at 50 pop. Does he have like 1 million Dryads in production? Where did all his money go to? Yeah, I don't see how you win that fight. Focus could have got 1 healing wave off instead of none. I think that would help. That would probably help quite a bit. Kind of need to get the ensnare on the demon so he doesn't get the mana burn on your backline Shadow. But the problem is those ensnares are also required to kill Dryads. Because if you don't ensnare the Dryad, well, they just won't die because they can just move them away. Think of a game of chess. If someone checkmates your king, but you're just allowed to pick it up and put it in your pocket. If there were no rules, and snare are the rules, that you're allowed to actually target that king. $42 pop, 48. We've got Wellspring coming, Adept Training. Yep. I guess money went to Heal Scroll, Invulnerability Potion, some Dryad Reproduction after losses, and Tier 3. But never another Moonwell. So he just thinks 50 pop army is always enough to beat Orc. And he's playing around the extra money. That's good. Hex, so he doesn't get mana burned. Buys him some time to get ensnares on the demon as well. Oh, there it is again. I hate those mana burns. But I will say, in my prime, certainly not now, and it pisses me off. In my prime, my raiders are floating around, and I ensnare that demon out of mana burn range every single time. And not seeing it, and just seeing the shadow lazily walk into the demon, it's pretty hard to watch. In your what? In my prime. Remember, recently, 2009. It's a Night Elf W. Extremely well deserved. Very, very well right clicked on the Blade Master and mana burnt on the Shadow. Bears are going to be coming out now. Expo for Orc is still up. It looks still up, actually. In my Twitch Prime. FoCus likes his... Colorful likes his Nature's Blessing for 1 Ancient of War. Yeah. 300 resources for 1 Ancient of War to make it across the map and start fighting. Wonder why he decided not to go snakes this time. And going for Heal Wave instead. Just didn't feel like it was getting enough. I feel like snakes are good. I don't think Heal Wave did much for him this game.
A ran sam sam ram sam sam gully 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 ran sam sam rb gully 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 ran sam sam.
Don't think that requires a response, but thank you for the sub, Peric. Are you going to be joining OnlyFans Season 3 if and when it comes? Hell yeah. Definitely. What's the mana cost comparison between Snakes and Wave? It's part of the big reason... By the way, GG, Colorful wins 2-1. It's part of the big reason why Snakes are better against mana burn. Snakes are 30, so you can get there pretty easily after being drained empty from mana burn. Heat Wave is 90, right? So Heat Wave costs about 60 gold of mana regen from Clarity. It's pretty hard to get there. All right, GG. Colorful 2-1 FoCus. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast. I hated it. Well, I like the casting. I like casting, but I hated the outcome. GG's.